Have you ever wondered why certain regions of the world seem to be more prone to natural disasters? Let's take a closer look at Japan, a nation that's no stranger to such cataclysmic events. Recently, Japan's Noto Peninsula was shaken by a powerful earthquake measuring 7.6 on the Richter scale. This wasn't just your average tremor, though. In a dramatic display of nature's raw power, the quake caused the land to lift, extending parts of the coastline by nearly 2 football fields. Satellite images and ground surveys revealed newly exposed beaches and raised land along the coast, marking a significant transformation of the landscape. But the Earth's shaking wasn't the only event that rocked Japan recently. A collision between a Japan Airlines plane and a Japanese Coast Guard plane during landing at Tokyo's Haneda Airport led to a catastrophic aftermath. The airliner burst into flames, leading to 14 injuries among the passengers and crew. Tragically, the Coast Guard plane crew suffered heavier casualties, with 5 out of 6 members losing their lives in the crash. These two events, happening so close together, have led to a significant impact on the people of Japan. In the wake of the earthquake, 94 lives were lost. Yet, despite the devastating effects of these disasters, the Japanese people's resilience and preparedness are noteworthy. Their strict adherence to building codes, the use of earthquake-resistant infrastructure, and a culture of preparedness have helped limit the damage and loss of life. However, the question remains, what is the bigger picture here? And how do these events fit into the broader context of Japan's experience with natural disasters? The answers to these questions may shed light on how we understand and respond to such situations in the future. These events have dramatically affected Japan's landscape and people, but what's the bigger picture here? Let's delve into each event and its impact. Starting with the earthquake that struck Japan's Noto Peninsula. This was no ordinary tremor. It registered a powerful 7.6 on the Richter scale. The force was so great that it caused land uplift of up to 4 meters, extending the coastline by as much as 2.5 football fields. The landscape underwent significant changes, with newly exposed beaches and raised land along the coast. Satellite imagery and ground surveys bore witness to these dramatic transformations. The earthquake's cause, like most, can be traced back to the movement and collision of Earth's tectonic plates. The Pacific Plate, on which part of Japan sits, is constantly moving and interacting with surrounding plates. This causes stress to build up over time. When the stress finally releases, it results in an earthquake. In this case, the release was so powerful, it literally lifted the land. Moving on to the plane crash at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. A Japan Airlines flight carrying 379 passengers and crew collided with a Japanese Coast Guard plane during landing. The crash led to the airline's plane bursting into flames. Miraculously, all aboard the Japan Airlines flight survived, with 14 reported injuries. However, the Coast Guard plane crew was not as fortunate, with 5 out of 6 members tragically losing their lives. The cause of the crash is still under investigation, with conflicting reports on clearance for landing and takeoff. Aviation authorities are conducting a thorough investigation into the incident, aiming to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. These events have certainly left their mark, but how does Japan manage to bounce back time and again? Japan's resilience in the face of disasters is no accident. This resilience is rooted in a culture of preparedness. Over the years, Japan has invested heavily in creating strict building codes, implementing regular earthquake drills, developing early warning systems, and designing resilient buildings. Japan's building codes are among the most stringent in the world. Architects and engineers work tirelessly to design structures that can withstand the impact of powerful earthquakes. From skyscrapers that sway with the tremors to homes built with flexible, shock-absorbing materials, each structure is a testament to Japan's commitment to safety and preparedness. But it's not just about creating earthquake-resistant structures. Japan also places a strong emphasis on education and drills. From a young age, children are taught what to do in the event of an earthquake. Regular drills are conducted in schools, offices, and communities, ensuring that everyone knows how to respond when the ground starts shaking. These drills are more than just routine exercises. They are life-saving practices that have become second nature to the Japanese people. In addition to these drills, Japan has also developed one of the most advanced early warning systems in the world. This system can detect the initial, less destructive waves of an earthquake and send out warnings before the more damaging waves strike. These precious seconds give people time to take cover and can significantly reduce the number of casualties. Lastly, Japan's resilient building designs are another crucial element of its disaster preparedness. These structures are engineered to absorb and dissipate the energy of an earthquake, minimizing damage and keeping occupants safe. From base-isolated buildings that move independently of the ground to sky bridges that connect high-rises and provide escape routes, Japan's architectural innovations are at the forefront of seismic safety. In conclusion, Japan's culture of preparedness is a multifaceted approach that combines stringent building codes, regular drills, advanced warning systems, and resilient building designs. It's clear that Japan's proactive approach to disaster preparedness plays a huge role in its ability to recover from these events. So, why does Japan seem to be a magnet for these disasters? Well, it's a combination of geographical location and high air traffic that makes the nation particularly susceptible to such incidents. Let's start with the geographical factor. Japan is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, an area in the basin of the Pacific Ocean where a significant number of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur. In fact, it's home to about 90% of the world's earthquakes. This is primarily due to the movement of multiple tectonic plates in the region, including the Pacific Plate and the Philippine Sea Plate, among others. Furthermore, the country's rugged, mountainous terrain means that earthquakes can have a significant impact on land, causing landslides and other secondary disasters. The same geographical location that makes Japan stunningly beautiful also makes it vulnerable to seismic activities. Now let's talk about air traffic. Japan has one of the busiest airspaces in the world. Tokyo's Haneda Airport, for example, is one of the busiest airports globally. With so much air traffic, the probability of incidents, although still low, increases. It's a simple matter of statistics. More flights mean more opportunities for something to go wrong, whether it's due to human error, mechanical failure, or other factors. But it's important to note that these factors don't make Japan inherently unsafe. On the contrary, the country's strong focus on disaster preparedness and rigorous safety standards in both aviation and construction are testament to its commitment to safeguarding its citizens and visitors. The recent events, while tragic, are not indicative of a systemic issue, but rather an unfortunate confluence of circumstances. So, does Japan attract disasters? Geographically, perhaps. But it's also a nation that's well prepared and constantly working to improve its resilience against these very challenges. Understanding these factors can help us better prepare for and respond to similar situations in the future. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. Like an intricate tapestry, the events in Japan have been woven together with elements of tragedy, resilience, and an undeniable spirit of preparedness. We started our journey by examining the recent events in Japan, the powerful earthquake that shook the Noto Peninsula, the tsunami it created, and the airline crash in Tokyo. Each of these incidents left a significant mark, not only on the landscape but also on the lives of those affected. We then delved into the impacts of these events, which were far-reaching and profound. The earthquake dramatically altered Japan's coastline, and the tsunami that followed tested the nation's disaster response mechanisms. The airline crash caused an unfortunate loss of life and highlighted the importance of rigorous aviation safety measures. Our exploration then took us to Japan's remarkable culture of disaster preparedness. We discovered that despite the devastation, Japan's strict building codes, early warning systems, and earthquake-resistant infrastructure have significantly mitigated the impact of these disasters. The country's proactive approach to disaster preparedness, community engagement, and technological advancements have played a crucial role in its resilience in the face of frequent seismic activity. We also looked at the bigger picture, questioning why these events are happening and if they are related to the predicted birth of the Kalki avatar. While these speculations add an element of intrigue, it's important to remember that natural disasters are a part of our planet's dynamic system, and human actions can often exacerbate their impacts. In the face of these crises in 2024, Japan continues to stand strong, demonstrating a spirit of resilience and preparedness that the world can learn from. It's a testament to the nation's commitment to safety and its people's indomitable spirit. So, while we can't prevent these disasters, we can learn from Japan's culture of preparedness and resilience, potentially saving countless lives in the process.